Hello, my mimics, and welcome back to the Mimic Commentary, episode 76. You might be asking yourself, hey, wait a minute. Weren't we supposed to be in the Roundtable Hold? And we were, but I wanted to give Bach the needle, and I wanted to chit-chat about the Albinaurics and Miquella's favor, and trying to figure that out. You can actually see, you can see where Latenna's hanging out right there. You can see the exact rocks where we were able to see Travel Anticipation and do some of that Trina Lily theorizing. The thing that I wanted to really talk about before we go into the Roundtable Hold and discuss the Medallion and the Needle, before we discuss the Medallion and everything to do there, is I wanted to think about who the Albinaurics are and why do they want to go to the Haligtree. What is Miquella's Haligtree? And what does Miquella want? Because we haven't really been thinking about that yet. I can't say. First, who are the Albinaurics? Well, we already know that they're man-made life forms, and we've kind of been deducing that they're most likely come from the Academy. So we have the, you know what? Let me just let me equip a weapon. Let's get more Albinauric in here. Where's the Ripple Blade? It's not a Ripple. I don't have the Ripple Blade. The Halberd. The Ripple Crescent Halberd. So we learned that these are from young Albinaurics. They're kind of like frogmen. It's crescent moon shaped here. It's got arcane wisdom and power. It's supposed to look like a ripple. Why is it supposed to look like a ripple? Do we know? Just an image of a ripple. We don't really know why yet. And the first generation Albinaurics, the older Albinaurics, these are held by the young Albinaurics, who are kind of like frog people. The older Albinaurics, their fate is for their legs to fade, and then they'll die. The Albinaurics drop blood clots, and blood clots usually occur in the leg. Okay, so these are man-made beings whose legs fail. Something about where's the Albinauric blood clot? Thick, coagulated blood of the Albinaurics. Albinaurics life forms made by human hands, humans. Thus many believe them to live impure lives untouched by the Erdtree's grace. So something about being man-made means you can't move. They talk about, Albus talks about, such is the fate, what is it? Such is the fate of the, my legs will soon fade, and with them my life. Alas, this is the immovable fate of all Albinaurics. So it's literally immovable for them, because their legs don't work. They, symbolically, without having legs, they don't really have freedom, I guess. They don't have the choice to go somewhere else. They are wholly dependent on their creators and who created them. So their creators with human hands, most likely the Academy, because they can cast Academy spells. We see them casting Academy spells. Now, from the Albinauric pots, which are ritual pots, do I have any crafted? I should probably craft one at least, so we can always refer to it easily. Craftable item prepared by using a ritual pot. You can see kind of that black, leathery top, the silver blood coming out of it. Enchanted by sorceries of the cuckoos, cuckoo birds. They famously steal. They will lay their eggs in someone else's nest, so they can raise them as someone else's. So we're going to think about that a little bit more when we probably get to the Academy. The Knights of the Cuckoo do declare, behold thy defiled blood, unlike any humor that flows in our grand realm. So the cuckoos think that the Albinaurics are defiled beings. The cuckoos are not the ones creating the Albinaurics, and we can tell that based on just like Scholar's armament and Scholar's shield. Glintstone sorceries of the Academy of Raya Lucaria, taught to the Knights of the Cuckoo by the Academy as payment for their contract. So the Knights of the Cuckoo have a contract with the Academy, but that doesn't mean they use faux magics. They don't really know magic. They don't really like the Albinaurics all too much. You know, they have a contract. They're getting paid. To me, I'm assuming most of the people who are part of the Cuckoo Knights, part of, you know, the Raya-Lucarian forces, they are most likely Erdtree worshippers. And that's why I think we have these, you know, thy defiled blood, unlike any humor that flows in our grand realm. You know, our grand realm, I don't think they're just speaking of Liurnia. Since Liurnia and, just really got foggy all of a sudden. Since Liurnia is tied to the Erdtree, thanks to marriage, I think that kind of like gives us where their religious beliefs are. I think they're Erdtree worshippers. And we found the converted tower that had cuckoo stuff in there. I'm going to run over here. Maybe we'll get a better view of something. Maybe the lights will change. They seem to be like converts of, you know, Tamarica's religion, to the Erdtree. So the Albinaurics most likely created by the Academy, despised by the Cuckoos, and they have this belief that they have to get to Miquella's Haligtree. We compared this to the Tarnished returning. So they kind of have a parallel to going to Miquella's Haligtree. We found Miquella's faith all over the place in Liurnia. Nowhere in Limgrave. Only St. Trina's, which is everywhere. A lot of people are digging St. Trina. They are loving the Saint of Sleep. They're loving dreams. They love having their senses dulled. They want to prevent agitation. Preventing agitation, actually, that's pretty interesting. St. Trina's power is to make people less agitated, to make people less combative, to make people not fight each other. That's interesting. Anyway, it's an exact copy of Miquella's Lily, and it looks, you know, Miquella's Lily looks a little more stronger here. Miquella has his bewitching branches, which... And where are we? We could see that the sigil for the bewitching branch with this pink mist. We have this literal branch with the flowers, and we see the sigil that has 5 branches at the top, and it's spiraling at the bottom. I think it was Greedy King in the Discord who said that the bottom of... Where is it? The bottom of the Haligtree sigil, this spiral right there, the bottom of the Haligtree sigil, this infinity sign, actually, kind of looks like... Where are we? Kind of looks like an Erdtree seed. So Miquella can compel affection. When we use this on someone, it makes them our temporary ally. Miquella is loved by many people. Indeed, he has learned very well how to compel such affection. It seems that the Albinaurics love him as well, and maybe that's why they think, or maybe they know, that the Haligtree is somewhere they have to go to gain maybe his love, a safe haven, what have you. They were created by the Academy. And they're disdained. You know, they're kind of like failed creations. You can see really how gold this statue is. They're really like failed creations. That's why we have second-generation Albinaurics, the young Albinaurics, who are kind of humans combined with frogs to get their legs working, but they can't talk. And they are just like, you know, they're kind of aimless. So they're created by the Academy, and they're like, we got to get to the Haligtree. Somehow, they get the secret medallion, one half of the secret medallion. I want you to think about, how did they get this one half of the secret medallion? Where is the other half? Well, let's think about this. A hatchet with frost-coated blade, one of the several gifts given by Castle Sol in the distant north. One of several gifts given by Castle Sol in the distant north. There's other gifts from Castle Sol. What could the other gifts be? Known as freezing fog, the blade is thought to be a dragon scale. Okay. So there's multiple gifts given by Castle Sol of the Sun Realm, which has Wraithcallers, Revenants, Dragon Worshippers. Given to who? The Academy? I don't think the Academy. I'm going to think the Carians. I'm just going to say I think the Carians. There was a gift to the Carians. So how did the Albinaurics get this medallion? Well, we don't know yet. We don't even know where the Haligtree is. It's not in the south. I can't see it. It's just deducing. It's got to be in the north, right? It's got to be in the north. We've seen all of this. We've seen it from the Divine Tower. Haven't seen up there. So it's either in the north or the northwest, or northeast, I should say. It's not in the northwest. So it's somewhere over here. So perhaps the Haligtree Secret Medallion was a gift from Castle Sol, Sun Realm. Why give it to why would the Albinaurics get it? What were they holding it for? Well, it seems that it's for Latenna. Latenna needs it. Well, Latenna, where does she come from? Well, we found another Albinauric who had the rhymed crystal bud from cold regions. Mountaintops are in the north, so probably in the mountaintops. All right, we got this together. Haligtree, probably near the mountaintops. Castle Sol, maybe this is one of the gifts from Castle Sol. Sun Realm. Anti-Erdtree. This is I think the important bit. Anti-Erdtree. Now, where else can we look? We're thinking anti-Erdtree. Well, if the Academy is making fake people, who else do we know who has made fake people? Well, we look at our spells. The Claymen, who served as priests in the ancient dynasty, searching for their lost oracles within their bubbles, has the same sigil as the Celians, town of sorcery, who are assassins, and it has a very similar sigil to the Carian sigil. And we know that the Cuckoos have a problem with the Carians. They rebel against the Carians, and Renala is locked in the Academy. And it was also a Carian who initiated the Night of Black Knives, which brings back Sunrealm people. So I think we're seeing a lot of interconnecting forces tying against the Erdtree. All of these surrounding lands against the Erdtree. And the tree in opposition that seems that people want to follow, that may help them in their fight against the Erdtree, seems to be the Haligtree. Some people see it as a safe haven. Maybe others see it as a weapon. Maybe others are just so in love with Miquella because he compelled their affection that they want to be part of his tree. So we're going to have to figure out more about that, but I just think it's very interesting that down near the Eternal Cities we find Claymen. Claymen seem to be a plot by the Celians, the Eternals, and so too do the Carians with their old accords, their old knowledge. You know? We'll have to see. That's just what I wanted to just get those thoughts out of the way. Okay, well, before we give our needle, it's difficult. I want to talk about more, but we don't have all that information yet. So we gotta keep going. Let's look at this gold sewing needle that we're gonna give to Bach. At the top, we see a tree. Then we see the thread. But wait a minute. The thread looks like golden hair. Sewing needle made of gold. Unique item made to alter demigod attire. One of the tools brought by Radagon when he entered into marriage with Renala, Queen of the Full Moon, and joined the Carian line. So he joins the Carian line. She does not join the Erdtree line. The matriarchy stays dominant. What's interesting is the gold hair. Marika has blonde hair, as we've seen. And maybe this is her hair. Weaving clothes out of her hair. That's very mythical in that sense. This would tell me. We also have the tailoring tools. This also has Erdtree symbolism on here. made from gold, but this also just has real thread. Tools brought with the red-haired Radagon when you married into the Carian line. With these, even demigod power can be altered at sites of grace. What this tells me is who brokered the alliance between Leyndell and Caria. It's, you know, it's most likely not Radagon. He's just the champion. He doesn't get that choice. It's either Marika the Queen or Godfrey the Elden Lord. Godfrey, you know, just thinking about the big, strong, hulking dude with the giant axe. I don't think so. I think it might be Marika, but we can't really, until we know more about Godfrey and stuff, I can't say. But just that this would make sense to why it would be Marika brokering the alliance and the marriage, because she's even giving a gift of her hair. Like, you know, when Radagon goes with his envoy to become married, part of the treasures, I think, would be involved in that. She'd be like, hey, let's bring this treacherous needle. It's also crazy that it's found at the Church of Vows, that it was left at the Church of Vows. You know, it wasn't just at the Church of Vows. He must have had it with him when he was in Caria proper. But then it got left at the Church of Vows, and we picked it up. And we're going to give this needle to Bach. So these are tools, most likely. Not most likely. These are tools used by Radagon. These are tools used by Radagon. Radagon used these. These are relics of Radagon. And this might be a strand of Marika's hair. And we're going to give it to the demi-human Bach. Bach, if you remember, was disguised as a tree at one point. So we'll talk to him as Crystal.
Bach the seamster, at your service, master. Ready to make adjustments to your garments. Oh, please.
Wait, can I not give him the needle?
Bach ready to make
Oh, why can't I give him the... I guess...
please.
Never mind, I thought I could... Alright, I guess we can't give him the needle here. Alright, off to the round table hold. Sorry, everybody. Okay. We fought Ensha of the Royal Remains. This is the Clinging Bone. Horrific weapon made of a hardened skeletal arm. Let's equip that. See what that looks like. So we're holding its hand. It's hardened. It looks kind of gold, I think. Fitted by placing one's hands into the fist's grips until they dig in. O clinging creature, a king relinquishes not the hand. Who's saying that? Lifesteal Fist. Skill that demonstrates mastery of the art of controlling vital energies. Think vital... primal life energy resides within. Is there any other... Golden amber contains remnants of ancient life and houses its vitality. Vitality... Oh. Here. A fetid pustule taken from facial flesh raises vitality. Vitality governs resistance to the effects of death. Okay. Skill that demonstrates mastery of the art of controlling vital energies. A slow, controlled punch with an energy-infused fist that renders foes unconscious and steals their HP. Only effective against foes of human build. So you're controlling vitality to steal health. Ensha of the Royal Remains. Okay, so he of the Royal Remains. That's such an interesting line. Wielded by Ensha of the Royal... O clinging creature, a king relinquishes not the hand. Who's the king? Royal Remains. O clinging... You know what? Before we talk to everybody, let's... Royal Remains helm. Okay. Are these... These are all the same. So let's put on our edgelord hat. Spooky. And what about the armor, too? So, you know what, let's just go for the full build, just so we can really inspect what's happening here. And then, let me dual wield these. Cool. Okay, so this guy's a dark wraith. Hey, this is important. His armor. Look at the cloth on the back. Okay. It's gonna take a while before we find other armor that has this type of little drapery on the butt, but just based on that vitality thing, I'm gonna give an assumption. I'm gonna assume that Ensha of the Royal Remains, Sunrealm. He's a skeleton. We got a skeleton guy here. Ensha couldn't talk. He's all hearing, but he can't talk. What does the armor say? Helm graced with gold human bones. Yeah. Well, the gold, it's like gilded. Like, the bones underneath aren't gold. Look at that. So it looks like the armor is all skeleton, then like iron on it, and then gems in the bones, very rich, and then, or gold. I don't think the bones are actually supposed to be gold. It looks like the bones are gilded. Okay. Helm graced with gold human bones, worn by the unspeaking adherent of Sir Gideon, the all-knowing. So this guy's the all-hearing, and he's unspeaking. He's a supporter as an adherent. Slowly replenishes HP when HP is reduced. When I think slowly replenishing HP, I kind of think of the warming stones, gentle sun. It is said that the bones belong to an ancient lord, the soulless king, the lord of the lost and desperate, who was known as Ensha. Okay. Ensha of the Royal Remains. This is the Royal Remains helm. This is Ensha, I think. O clinging creature, a king relinquishes not the hand. Perfect weapon made of hardened skeletons, wielded by Ensha of the Royal Remains. These are the Royal Remains. And the Lord of the Lost and Desperate is known as Ensha. So I think this is the Lord of the Lost and Desperate. Ensha, an old king, said that the bones belonged to an ancient lord. So he was a lord, he was a king. Where is he a lord from? Where is he a king from? And now he is in the Round Table Hold, working for Gideon. What we were talking about, they want to get to the Haligtree. And, you know, I think this might be a Sunrealm lord. He's a skeleton, just like those who live in death. The Lord of the Lost and Desperate. Rose's summons. Raise the axe aloft to summon those lost in death. The dead easily lose their way and have always been in need of a sore guiding hand. So the lost and desperate, to me, are those who live in death, or those who are lost in death. So is Ensha living in death? Is he an animated piece of armor? Well, that could work. You get those who live in death, and then you take the bone. Yeah, that actually could work. Let's say Ensha, he's a dude, okay? He's a king, and he dies, and they take his remains, and they make it into a suit of armor, and he gets buried. You know, the jewels and everything, and they bury him because he's a warrior king or something. But then Deathroot spreads, and the soul starts embodying the armor. That's kind of what I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing. The big giveaway for Sunrealm 2 is this back thing. That's a big giveaway. Just think of another piece of armor. Malekith. Just think of another piece of armor. Malekith. And where he hangs out. The Soulless King. Yeah, and those who live in death. That's pretty interesting. Doesn't have a soul. Who else doesn't have a soul? Who else doesn't have a soul? I don't think we know. Let me check my... It is said that the pustule came from the visage of the Prince of Death, he who used to be called Godwin. His first of the dead demigod said he's buried deep under the capital in the Erdtree's roots. Okay. Nothing there about him not having a soul. Nothing about that. So, yeah, I'm getting that Ensha is the armor. He can't speak because he's a skeleton. Doesn't have a tongue. Spooky. And, yeah, it's interesting he's soulless. So what do we know about those? Let me just see. Spirits of 2 skeletal militiamen. These are spirits of militiamen who live in death. Spirits of a bandit who lives in death. What about our Rancor pot? Vengeful spirits. It's interesting. Is the soul the same as a spirit? Spirit tuning. Could it be a third thing? Is the soul the same as a spirit? I don't know how we square that circle. He doesn't have a soul, yet he was able to operate. Well, I guess he doesn't have a soul anymore? I don't know. Those gloves look stupid. I don't know what matches. And... oh, I can really go heavy. But I like the... yeah, I guess we'll go that way. Cool. All right. So, a guy working with an ancient Sunrealm Lord hates the Erdtree. He's trying to get the Medallion to get to the Haligtree. So much so he'll kill everyone around. So it doesn't seem like he's too much into the loving of Miquella. And you know what? You know what? Wait. Before we continue, let me show you something. So before, I was like, hey, we cannot bewitch the Iron Virgin. Here's those who live in death. Can't bewitch him either. Isn't that interesting? Those who live in death cannot have their affection compelled. Look, he looks like Ensha. He hasn't got the black. So, yeah. He's trying to get there. He's trying to get there with that gift from Castle Soul. All right. No more messing around. Let's finish our roundtable episode. Let's see. Anybody got anything interesting to say?
What do you need?
Tell me what you know about Ensha.
If Lunar Princess Rani truly is the one who plotted that fateful night, then she should bear the curse mark of destined death somewhere upon her flesh.
Yikes.
Would you be willing to procure it for me? She may have returned to the manor that is her home, the royal Karian residence to the north of the Academy of Rhea Lucaria.
We'll get to it. Okay. Someone commented on a few episodes ago. Let me see who it was. Shikari said, is it crazy to think that maybe Diallos had a hand in Lanya's death? Interesting. Let's see what he has to say for himself.
Ah, you again, is it?
Oh, he's angry.
Accusant sent a lackey.
Oh.
Can you believe they invited me to join them? Now, after what they did? I can scarcely believe it myself. Did they think me a fool? You might be surprised to learn I took them up on the offer. Then I only had to ask. The location of the recusant hideout. It's on Mount Gelmir, found off the old road that leads west from the town of Windmills.
Did somebody say windmills?
It's the paper. You're living this large, it's not the issue. Wish it wasn't such a mission to start, but I continue.
The day you insulted my name by laying hands on Lanya. The tale of House Hoslo is told in blood, after all.
I don't think he had a hand in her death. Yeah, I'm not getting it. I don't know. I'll have to keep saying, I don't think he did. Maybe he finds her and he accidentally kills her. And, I guess we could make a story out of it. We could paint him as the person who murdered Lanya. But, I don't know. Who else would have killed her? Alright, so I just edited out a lot of silence. I was thinking on it. I can't see Diallos hurting Lanya based on the way he talks. I can't see it. Can't see it. But do they think... But just... He does seem foolish. And... Yeah. Okay, buddy. No analysis on you. I think you're getting taken for a ride. Before we go to Gideon, let's check everybody over here. See if anyone has anything interesting to say. Yeah. Oh, we have a lot of somber 3s. So we'll up that. And I don't have a lot of smithing stone 1s. Oh, but I have the bell bearing, so we could do that and buy that stuff. So we'll do that. Man, my guy's got a lot of guts great swords. Someone also mentioned that he's hammering a banished knight sword, a dragon, a dragon worshipper's sword. He's got a big hammer. Makes people think of a a brick hammer. Again and again and again. People keep saying it. People keep saying it again and again and again. Whoa, Nepheli, what are you doing down here?
Ah, you. Please, leave me be. It's pathetic, I know, but I need to think.
Think about what?
Ah, you. Please, leave me be. It's pathetic, I know, but I need to think.
Okay. She must be really upset about the Albinauric village. Let's, Oh, I remember why I wasn't wearing these pants. The silly floppy feet. Change my pants on the fly. Alright, let's give the bell bearing, and then we'll talk to Gideon Offlor. Alright, how much are these things? Oh, these are cheap. These are cheap. Oh, I have a lot of smithing stone 2s. Does that mean... Oh, sorry, I'm just thinking of what Ashes of War I have. Because maybe I want to use the Slender Sword. Ooh. Wait a second. Maybe we do this. Let's do something silly. Yeah. We need a few more runes. What exciting lore we're getting here. Leveling up the character. You gotta see the process. You gotta be here for it. You know, when I watched Epic Name Bro, we were along for the whole ride. We were along for the whole ride. He didn't really cut out much. Maybe some farming. But I don't think he really cut out that much. I think I actually don't have... Oh, gosh. 500. Okay, what else could I... I don't want to use these runes because they're lore. Okay, which ones... We'll get more of these, right? We'll get another golden rune 5. Get it that, and then... I just think that is cool. Come on. Isn't that cool? That's real Radagon level stuff right there, you know? I think that's cool. Hey, Gideon. Your dude attacked me.
You. What is it?
You're a punk. You're such a punk. All right, let's ask about Ensha.
Oh, my apologies for that nasty business. Ensha got rather ahead of himself, it seems. As his master, I'd like to express my regret. But now, Ensha is slain and gone. Finished. Forevermore.
Oh my god, is that it? Oh my god, what a... Oh my god, I want to call him like a bunch of names. I'm gonna call him a names. He's a dickhead. Look, you can even see his face kind of looks like a penis. My apologies for that. Ensha got rather ahead of himself. Oh, okay, so he wasn't supposed to do that yet. He was supposed to wait. He wasn't supposed to attack you yet. He was supposed to wait. Okay, whatever. Alright, well, he's dead. I never really cared much about him anyway. He was just my muscle. Well, since he was my muscle, how about... And he couldn't do the job right. You know what? Let's see more.
Ah, yes. By way of apology, allow me to tender some advice in regard to the half of the secret medallion you possess. Find the Albinauric woman. She hides in a cave to the west of the Laskia ruins, which jut from the mist-shrouded lake of Liurnia. She knows the location of the medallion's counterpart, I'm sure.
That's it?
Find the Albinauric woman. She hides in a cave to the west of the Laskia ruins, which she knows the...
Okay, so he just wants... Okay, Gideon the All-Knowing, he's sending out the brute. He doesn't care what he's doing. He just wants the knowledge. He just wants knowledge. He was sending Ensha out to get that knowledge for him. Ensha can't talk, so he must have been writing it down, then passing notes back to each other. Because he's the All-Knowing. He sends out the All-Hearing. Then he tells him. Now we're working for him. He's like, all right, well, you know, Ensha's dead. You killed him. Well, whatever. Hey, you go do it. You know, I'm not going to go use the secret medallion. You figure it out. So, that seems to be Gideon's way. All right, what about Nepheli's despair?
You've already heard. Indeed. It seemed the whelp harbored suspicions, so I had no further use for her. Honestly, what's a man to do? A determined plebeian is more wicked than an omen horn, quite frankly. I suspect that's just what the Queen wants. A dose of ambition to incite the tarnished.
Okay, I'm gonna call him another name. I know I try not to use crude language on the Mimic commentary, but Gideon is a douche. What a POS. Jesus. All right, the whelp harbored suspicions. The whelp. Like, you know, she's a child, but she's a whelp. So I had no further use of her. All right, she's asking questions. She's not going to be doing what I tell her. You know, Ensha never asked any questions. He just did what I said, and that was fine. You know, he would kill a wolf. He would... Oh, we never looked at this. We'll look at it another time. Have someone else inspect this. He would kill a wolf. He would massacre a village, and he never asked any questions. She, though, she asked questions. What's a man to do? A determined plebeian. A lower-class person. He looks down on Nepheli. She called him her father. As his father, a father figure to her. And he is just going to throw her away. He was just using her. God. More wicked than an omen horn, quite frankly. Oh, okay, so omen horns are wicked. Well, you want to know why omen horns are wicked. You want to know why omen horns are wicked. Well, we're not there yet, but... Vengeful spirits. Vengeful spirits. Well, actually, we do know why. No, we don't. We don't know why omen horns are, why people wouldn't want to omen horn. Just looking at the cursed blood plot. Cursed blood pot. We kind of think crucible blood. Childhood memory. Spirits. Assailing them. That's crazy. We're gonna have to wait for more information on that. A little foreshadowing there. Why omen horns are seen as wicked. I suspect that's just what the Queen wants. Probably Queen Marika. She's the one who brings back the Tarnished. A dose of ambition to incite the Tarnished. Huh. To get us to be ambitious. He's calling her ambitious. Right? Because she's a determined lower class person. She shouldn't be Elden Lord. Gideon should be. He should be the king because he knows, he's all-knowing. The all-knowing king. God, What a piece of crap. I don't know what else to say. He's just like, he's such an elitist, frickin' no nice words.
Ah, you. Please, leave me be. It's pathetic, I know, but
It's not
need
pathetic.
to think.
I heard from Gideon. I heard that he is a terrible person. He's horribly emotionally abusive. He has no regard for life. He has no care for how others feel. He only wants to know everything. But he doesn't want anyone to give them interpretations. He doesn't want anyone to have a differing opinion. He just wants to know it all. For him, he wants to be all-knowing.
So you know already, do you?
Yeah, he's an asshole.
It's true. My father cast me out for indulging my emotions.
Oh, terrible.
Forgetting the mission. Punishment for offing his pawns. Lord Gideon has offered me guidance all my life.
All my life.
I would have done anything for him. To place him on the throne of Elden Lord. And yet though it was not my intent, I betrayed him.
You did not betray him. He betrayed you. He betrayed your trust, your love, all of it. He used you. He's not a real father.
And I can no longer trust in Father.
You shouldn't.
To think he'd order his men to enact such tragedy. Where is the justice he purports in that? He once told me that if he became Elden Lord, he would never allow the downtrodden to be cheated ever again. Was he simply lying to me?
Yes, he was. He doesn't care. He talked about you as a plebeian. He does not care. He just wants to know everything and have power for power's sake.
No. How could I say that? Father has always given me his guidance. And now, I've lost it. No. How could I say that? Father has all... And now...
That's very heartbreaking. It's very sad. You know, that type of talk, you know, if I was going to talk about Nepheli and her relationship with Gideon, I'd really be pulling a lot from Aska and the things I hear there from others. You know, we share our experiences about all different types of child abuse. It's not just sexual, but it's also emotional, physical, and spiritual. And what I see in Nepheli's story with Gideon is a story of emotional abuse from a father to a child, a parent to a child, emotional abuse. And just how sad she was. She trusted him, and he threw that trust away. He was just using her. Yeah, Gideon he's, you know, there's not many true villains in the story, but Gideon's one of them. Can't wait to smack him with a sword. Once he gets out of that round table, boy, you ain't safe. Boy, you ain't safe. Oh, I'm coming for you, buddy. Oh, I'm coming for you. Just you wait. Again and again and again. Just you wait. Once you're out of that round table hold. I'm going to tie you up like a hog and roast you over the fire. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. All right. Hey, Latenna.
I told the all-hearing brute already that I possess no such medallion. Or have you come to take more from me? Was my other half not enough?
I have the medallion.
Oh. Do you speak true?
I do.
So old Albus entrusted his medallion to you. Then
So
I
you
had
know
no
him.
choice but to trust that this was his dying will. Let's try again. I'm Latenna. An Albinauric, the same as old Albus.
Made by human hands.
My apologies for my coarse words earlier.
It's okay.
I presume the worst. Seeing that you're another tarnished like that all-hearing brute.
Ensha, to her, is a
you'll
tarnished,
forgive me.
yes. But he's like a tarnished who lives in death.
The medallion's better off
Right?
in your hands anyway. Would you consider doing me a great service?
Sure.
I must go back. There is
Go
something
back.
I must do, even if I must say farewell to my
I must go
wolf lover.
back.
Will you show me the way? To the land of Miquella's Haligtree.
I
If you
must
accept,
go back to the
I will
Haligtree.
gladly apprise you of the whereabouts of the Medallion's other half.
Yes. What if I hit refuse? What if I... Okay, I can't... I don't want to refuse her, because it might not work. So we're just going to hear... I don't want to lock us out if I refuse her.
Thank you kindly. They say the other half of the Medallion is beyond the Forbidden Lands, north of the Erdtree, in Castle Sol, on the mountain tops
There we
of
go, the
giants,
gift from Castle Sol.
accessible by the Grand Lift of Rold.
I didn't know I was doing... I forgot that she said that. I thought we were just doing some silly... I guess, you know, that is good theorizing. Like, I don't think most people say that this half... The reason why the half of the medallion is in Liurnia is because it was a gift from Castle Sol to keep it separate and safe, to protect the Haligtree. One should stay in the Forbidden Lands of the mountaintops, beyond the Erdtree, and another should stay in Caria, or in Liurnia, which is ruled by the Carians, who used to be enemies of the Erdtree. Makes sense why it's a gift. It was probably a secret gift. It was probably, you know, they were thought to just be giving the Ice Round hatchet, but they also gave them the path to the Haligtree. Why would the Carians or the Albinaurics need a path to the Haligtree?
Then I suppose it's time.
But she came from the Haligtree.
Farewell, Lobo. My faithful wolf. My better half.
Interesting
I
that
go
this woman, her other
tarnished,
half, is
so that our
a
journey
wolf.
will not have been in vain. Forgive me, Lobo.
Lobo also means wolf.
Call upon me when
Whoa.
needed, and I will fight at your side.
Latenna is my probably favorite Spirit Ash in the entire game. In the interest of time, we'll end that there, and we will analyze what Latenna told us. We'll analyze Latenna, and then we will continue to the Academy. Yeah. You know, we're probably going to get to the Academy gate, go this way, and go into here, and then come back down into the Academy. So, probably one episode. In 2 or 3 episodes, we will be in Raya. All right. You know the drill. Let's do the thing.